And welcome into CBS Sports HQ. And yes, we are following breaking news here because in just a matter of minutes, we will find out where one of the top linebackers in the country, four-star recruit Joshua Burnham, out of Traverse City, Michigan, where he will be headed to college. He's going to make his announcement right here on HQ. Joshua, a two-way standout out of Traverse City, Michigan in 2020 alone, racking up 76 tackles, 5 tackles for loss. At 6'4", 214, our partners at 24/7 Sports say the four-star recruit is athletic enough to fill multiple roles in multiple defensive schemes. By the way, yes, he's also played quarterback some, he can punt, and he's a heck of a basketball player. Taking a look there at his recruiting profile, he's been offered, or received offers, I should say, from Cincinnati, Alabama, Wisconsin, Michigan, and Notre Dame as well. All right, we are very pleased to welcome in Joshua Burnham to CBS Sports HQ from Traverse City Central in Traverse City, Michigan, there with his sister and his mom and dad. Josh, before we get into this, I got to say, first and foremost, it is your birthday today, 17 on the 17th. Happy birthday, and how does it feel to have this present that you're going to give yourself?
Yeah, thank you. I mean, it's great. It's been a really fun day, and I'm really excited. I mean, I've been looking forward to this for a while now, so I'm happy that it's finally here.
I know the pandemic really turned recruiting on its head. Things are starting to even out. I know you were able to visit some of these schools, but what was this recruiting process like for you?
Yeah, it was a lot of fun towards the start. I mean, being able to go to these campuses, watch some of the games, and then the dead period hit, which was kind of, I mean, it wasn't the best, but I mean, we still worked through it. We were able to get on Zooms with some coaches, and I mean, that was a lot of fun, being able to get like connections with all those guys and seeing all like the facilities that they had to share. And I mean, it was really cool.
Was there any part in particular that was the coolest part to you, or you're like, I can't believe I'm doing this?
It definitely has to be towards the start. I mean, just like going on some of the first few games that I went to. I mean, it was just a jaw dropper. I mean, my eyes were just looking everywhere. It was just a really awesome experience.
Josh, you're there in Michigan. You grew up a Michigan fan, but as soon as you received an offer from them, that wasn't it for you. You know, I was reading you really kept an open mind through all of this. Tell me about that.
I mean, we grew up in the state of Michigan. I mean, I didn't really want to like make that like my limit. I mean, I definitely wanted to be open to everything. I mean, that's exactly what I am.
Josh, looking through your recruiting profile, one of the main things people will see over and over is your athleticism. You're listed as a linebacker. You can fill a ton of roles on defense. You also played quarterback some. You could punt. You played basketball. So when it comes to football in particular, in what position do you see yourself?
I definitely see myself more as a linebacker, but I mean, I've been playing quarterback, which I mean, it's a lot of fun, but I like the defensive side where I just get to fly around and hit people. I mean, that's the best part.
All right, Josh, hang on a second. We're going to get your pick here very soon. But first, I do want to bring in some of our experts here from 24/7 Sports. So taking a look at the recruiting classes there, the rankings right now for 2022, of course. A couple of his picks there, Notre Dame at 4, Michigan at 11. So let's bring in Director of Recruiting for 24/7 Sports, Steve Wilfong, also National Recruiting Analyst, Alan True. Alan, I want to start with you because you know Josh well. People can read your profile of him on 247sports.com. Tell us a little bit more about him.
Well, I think when you see a kid that big, 6'4", 215 pounds, and physical, you always ask, is he athletic enough to do the things in space a linebacker needs to do in today's game? And he absolutely can. You mentioned all the things he's done. He played running back as a sophomore, quarterback, and played it very well this year. He wasn't just out there. He played the position extremely well. And then he's a standout on the basketball court, which he's currently doing right now. So athleticism is not an issue. He's physical. He's a leader for his high school. He can do everything you need to do and is a versatile piece on defense because I think he's shown he can stop the run. He can drop into coverage, and he can also be an edge rusher. And I guess if you need him to fill in as a punter or quarterback, he can do that too.
Steve, talk to us about the schools here and the recruiting that they've done specifically for Josh and just overall. So 24/7 Sports Crystal Ball has it narrowed down to Michigan, heavily leaning toward Notre Dame. And Notre Dame's done some outstanding recruiting recently.
Yeah, Josh was one of the first recruits to emerge in the Midwest nationally. He had college coaches 2 years ago talking about this special player from Traverse City, Michigan. I think Iowa was first to offer getting him on campus a couple years ago, then Michigan State, and now you have all the powerhouses, Alabama, Michigan, and Notre Dame in there. And the momentum was with Michigan for much of the process here. You know, it's documented that Josh and his family are Michigan fans, but I think they went through the process with an open mind, and they had some strong relationships at Michigan, and things change on that staff. Defensive coordinator change, linebacker coach change, and with that, Notre Dame had a change at their coordinator position as well. And I think that in Marcus Freeman, he's been able to really connect with Josh and show him what a tremendous fit he would be in Notre Dame's scheme. So I think here down the stretch, you know, all three of the schools with a hat on the table have had momentum in this recruitment. Wisconsin coming off their best recruiting class of all time last year. Notre Dame had a top 10 class last year, coming off another college football playoff appearance, and Michigan in the top 10 too. I like Notre Dame coming down the stretch here for Josh Burnham.
All right, guys, hang on just a second. We're going to talk to you after we know exactly where Joshua Burnham is going to go. We're going to take a 60-second break. Next, Michigan, Wisconsin, Notre Dame. Josh will give us his answer. Welcome back into CBS Sports HQ. We are following breaking news because in a matter of seconds, we will find out where Joshua Burnham, a two-way standout out of Traverse City, Michigan, a four-star recruit, where will he go for his college career? You see his recruiting profile there. He has received offers from Cincinnati, Alabama, Wisconsin, Michigan, and Notre Dame. He has narrowed it down to those final three, Wisconsin, Michigan, and Notre Dame. So let's welcome him back in. All right, let's welcome back Josh in along with his family there, his sister to his right, his mom and dad at his high school. It is very cold there on the field in Traverse City, Michigan, announcing his commitment. Josh, this is your time. Take it away.
Thank you. First off, I'd like to thank God for blessing me with this amazing opportunity. I want to thank my family for being there with me every step of the way, helping me with no matter what. All the coaches that have helped me put endless hours through out on the field and the weight room, all the staff at Central that have helped, and lastly, all you teammates. I wouldn't be here without you guys, so I appreciate it. And with that being said, I'd like to continue my athletic and academic career at the University of Notre Dame.
All right, congratulations, Josh. Headed to South Bend there. We got to ask you, why Notre Dame?
I mean, Notre Dame's an amazing place. The culture there is unreal. I mean, I just feel like it was the best fit for me.
Josh, you know, this is pretty incredible. I was talking to Steve Wilfong. He's the director of recruiting for 24/7 Sports. He said, if you choose Notre Dame, they now have such a strong defense. And he said, you will be the jewel of it. What does that mean to you when you hear that?
I mean, it's a blessing. I mean, it's always been a dream of mine to play college football. I mean, this is unreal. This is more than I could ever ask for.
All right, Josh, as much as I love talking to you, I do want to bring in somebody very special here. We have legendary Notre Dame quarterback Brady Quinn happened to be here and wanted to wish you his own congratulations. Brady, take it away.
Josh, just want to say first off, this is a huge decision in your life. You made the right decision. This will be one of the biggest decisions that will pay off for the rest of your life. But I want to congratulate you and welcome you to the Notre Dame family. I can't wait to watch you play. If I can ever help out, please let me know.
I appreciate it.
Awesome. Go Irish.
Go Irish.
All right, Josh. So 17 on the 17th, it's your 17th birthday. It is also St. Patrick's Day. Announcing this decision, you know, it's just incredible. I want to know, Notre Dame got a new defensive coordinator in Marcus Freeman there. He's done such an incredible job recruiting. He's elevating this class. You are, with this commitment here, to ranked second in recruiting for the class of 2022. How much of an influence did Coach Freeman have on your decision?
Yeah, definitely. He's a great coach. And then seeing what he's done at Cincinnati and now carrying through on Notre Dame, I mean, I feel like I already have a great relationship with them. And I mean, it's just a start, and I'm very excited.
Now, I need to ask you, we know it's your birthday. It is also St. Patrick's Day. Did you wait till this day to make this decision? How well did that work out for you?
I mean, I knew for a couple of weeks where I wanted to go, but I mean, we kept it quiet, didn't really say anything. And, I mean, we definitely wanted to bring it on my birthday, which is what happened. I mean, I'm very thankful for it. I mean, there's nothing better.
Josh, what are you going to bring to this Notre Dame defense? I mean, we've heard from all the experts saying just how incredible you are, how athletic you are. But from your opinion, how are you going to elevate it?
Well, I'm bringing my 100% every single day, and we're gonna win a national championship.
All right, Josh, go celebrate with your family, have some birthday cake. You found the pot of gold, my friend. Congratulations on selecting Notre Dame there.
Absolutely, thank you.
All right, let's bring back in our experts at 24/7 Sports. So, selecting Notre Dame, that elevates them now to that #2 spot there in the recruiting class rankings for 2022. Let's bring back in Steve Wilfong, Alan True. Steve, I want to start with you this time because you used that word to me. I was emailing you last night, and you said he's going to be the jewel of this defense. Explain why.
Well, he's the class jewel. He's the highest ranked player in the class. You're talking about a linebacker that's going to come into Notre Dame's position room and be the most physically imposing player in the second level the day he arrives. He's such a versatile player that can make things happen around the line of scrimmage. He's a guy that's going to be able to rush the passer. I think he's a guy that's going to be able to drop and play in space. And there's just so much more upside with him. He's 6'4", easy, 215 pounds, and still kind of lean. Notre Dame is one of the best strength and conditioning programs in the country. That's proven every year when you look at the way Notre Dame players test at the NFL Combine, and they've had 16 players drafted over the last 3 years on teams that have played in the college football playoff 2 of the last 3 years, and I think that they're going to be able to get a lot of burn out of Josh Burnham here.
Alan, Steve mentioned he's a little lean. When we were talking to you before, you said it's really his size and athleticism that stands out for him. And you said that he could fill multiple roles in multiple defensive schemes. We know he's played quarterback some, punter, basketball. So what is your projection of him with this Notre Dame defense?
Yeah, I think schools are so multiple now, and Marcus Freeman's going to be multiple. But I think the base defense there probably will be a 3-3-5. And Josh is a little bit hard to peg as far as what he's going to grow into, but I think that's a good thing. He can play the Mike. Steve's hearing that might be an option here, but then I think he's big enough and athletic enough to play the Sam. And then if he simply just keeps growing and outgrows both of those positions, he can easily be an edge rusher, or maybe even if he doesn't keep growing, he's still versatile enough to be a defensive end in passing situations. So I think all of those things are in the card, but when I talked to Josh last week, he said Notre Dame was mentioning outside backer with edge in some situations. So my guess is he's going to start off as an outside linebacker, but you might see him all over that formation.
Steve, just really quickly, I should say, because we're talking about recruiting, how incredible is it what Notre Dame's doing right now?
Well, it's the standard that they should be recruiting at. They had a top 10 class last year. They're sitting at #2 in the 24/7 Sports Composite team rankings right now. And again, when you're a team that's played in the national champion or the National College Football Playoff 2 of the last 3 years, you've won at least 10 games in the last 4. You're sending players to the NFL draft, and at the same time, you're graduating almost everyone that comes in the door. This is the standard that Notre Dame should be recruiting at. And then you take a guy like Marcus Freeman, who's one of the premier recruiters in the country. One of the other jewels in this class, Tyson Ford, when Coach Freeman showed up, he was an Oklahoma lean. When Coach Freeman showed up, Josh Burnham was a Michigan lean. But Notre Dame, when you add that extra juice to the trail, to what it already offers, these are the results you get. And here they are sitting in the top 5 at #2.
He had a chance to play for his favorite team growing up, Michigan, instead choosing to go to Notre Dame. All right, guys, thanks so much for hopping on with us here at CBS Sports HQ. Again, Joshua Burnham announcing his commitment to Notre Dame. Thanks for being with us. Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.